Welcome to a very special review. Welcome to our very first test car. Welcome to the Ford Ecosport. In this review, I decided to sit in the boot, go a little bit off-roading, more on that later, take it to the shopping center to see how it does with daily activities, put glasses in the sunglasses holder, and introduce the EcoSport to my favorite aircraft. I also did other things like driving on a highway to test out the fuel consumption, did it again at night, and as always, we'll discuss the cost of ownership, so let's get started. So this is basically a special edition EcoSport called the Active, which is why I decided to kick off this review by doing something active, going off-roading, sort of. You get 17-inch black alloy wheels, you get a black painted roof, a black grille, black mirror caps, and as you can see by the wheel arches, you get black fenders as well. So you won't be mistaking it for any other ordinary EcoSport. As you know, my personal car is a Ford Fiesta, so coming into this was natural for me. Now, how is this different from a Ford Fiesta? It's slightly taller. It's a lot taller actually. Basically, it's a Fiesta wearing high heels. Now, did I go to Cotton On to take a video of high heels just for this video? Yes, I did. So in this one, you actually get decent ground clearance. I doubt you'll ever really need it, but if you ever found yourself driving around grass like this and you needed to go through this puddle without scraping your bumper, the Ford Ecosport Active is the one for you. Obviously now I did not go through with it. Maybe when they give me the Ford Ranger or the Ford Everest I might try it, but with this sweet delicate car I will not. But I know it could if I wanted to. But it's my first car, guys, so I need to behave, you know? I can't just be out there taking it through mud for no reason. And if you're wondering what color this orange car is, it's called Lux Yellow. And because it's so yellow, it actually reminds me of something I saw at Ackerman's the other day. Some yellow onesies, because that's actually yellow. Okay, I don't know if those are onesies, but some outfits for your kids from Kaizer Chiefs. But honestly, if you want your child to dress like a winner, you have to go with the Mamelodi Sundowns one. Anyway, let's get back to the interior of the EcoSport. As I mentioned earlier, you get a sunglasses holder, which I think is a nice touch. Well done, Ford. And you get an 8-inch infotainment screen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. As you can see on your screen, you can type in Tasha's there, Nelson Mandela Square. You won't get lost. It also comes with 6 speakers. The sound is decent. It's not as good as the one in the Ford Fiesta, but for most people, it should be fine. You only get 2 USB ports and they're in front. It's a nice spot to put your chips. At the back, no USB ports at all, so everyone who wants to charge will have to bring their phone forward. You do get analog dials, and as you know, the EcoSport has been around for around 10 years now, and I actually think it's aged very well. But between your analog dials, you have a small screen that can give you your tire pressure, it can give you your trip computer information, so you know how your fuel consumption is going. At this point, I was averaging around 8.7 liters, more on that later. That's to activate your cruise control. You press limit, set, and it's good. In fact, the cruise control was actually one of the highlights of having the EcoSport because my Ford Fiesta doesn't have it. And at any point, if you want to disengage it, you just touch the brake and you go back to normal driving. You get a 1-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine, which produces 92 kilowatts and 170 Newton meters of torque. Coming to your safety, you have 7 airbags. Very impressive. Well done, Ford. And you also get a collision mitigation system. Just like with the Ford Everest, if it sees that you're about to come into an obstacle and you're not going to brake, the car will brake for you. With regard to your fuel consumption, the claimed fuel consumption is 6.3 liters to the 100. That's a figure someone who's not me might be able to achieve. I say that because I am not the most economical driver. I don't glide, I don't coast, I just drive. In fact, I don't even speed at all, but still I am not able to get those low numbers for some reason. So the number I'm about to give you is about as bad as you can get. If you can do worse than me, then I don't know how you're driving. Anyway, I got 8.5 liters to the 100 during the 1 week I had this car. The Active model also comes with partial leather seats with the letter A on them to remind you to stay active. But one of the things I didn't like is that they didn't put an armrest. An armrest is essential, guys. It is. But overall, the interior looks really good, especially with those partial leather seats. They did a great job on them And as always, you know how I love Ford steering wheels. They look good. Looks like you're ready to drive and go somewhere. Look at it. Look at it. Proper. But what is not so proper though is the space in the back seats. For grown-ups, it's a bit tight. This is more suited for children. By children, I mean like young children, because yeah, it's a bit tight back there. There are no rear events, and as I mentioned earlier, there are no USB ports at the back either. But the EcoSport does have a party trick. This boot, 333 liters. You can definitely fit a sixth person in there if ever you need to carry 6 people. And if you want to squeeze in some bags, you just throw them in. It's very high, so if you know how to pack, you can do quite a lot with it actually. And there's still room to chill after that and enjoy some McDonald's chips. This video is not sponsored by McDonald's, by the way. But yeah, the boot is plenty big enough. And while I know you can't reverse park into some parking lots because of it, I think it's worth it. It's worth the trouble. I like it. Let me know what you think of it. If you want a spare wheel, the spare wheel is attached to your door. There it is. By the way, if you didn't know, you're watching the 12,000 subscriber special episode. Now, I didn't really explain how this Ford EcoSport came about. Remember the Ford Ranger video we did and the whole please give Mr. How Much a Ford Ranger petition? Well, I sent an email to Ford as I said I would. And yes, I know this is clearly not a Ford Ranger. That is similar colors, but it's not. What it is that this is a start. I'm grateful to Ford for actually giving me a chance, an opportunity, which is what I've been asking for, and I'm grateful for it. So guys, if you have any questions for Ford, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for writing. Please give Mr. How Much a Ford. Maybe they'll even give me a Ford Everest. Did you see our Ford Everest review? Over 210,000 views. That's more than any other channel in the country, maybe even the continent. That is impressive stuff. A review I did during a test drive. I didn't have it for a month, nothing. Test drive. You guys are the best. Thank you to everyone who supports this channel. I really appreciate it. And in your comments today, please also say thank you Ford for me for giving me the opportunity to review the EcoSport. Back to the review. This car also has another party trick. You download the Ford Pass app. As you can see, I named it orange, by the way. Anyway, you download this app, which allows you to remotely start the car using your cell phone, which is pretty cool. So you can start it, lock it, unlock it, as you'll see now. So it takes a few seconds, but it's a cool way to impress your friends and also warm up the car, especially on cold mornings. If you're worried someone will steal your orange while you've started it, don't stress, the doors are locked unless you unlock them. But even if you do, you still need a key to physically start the car. This is a nice feature from Ford. Well done, Ford. Well done. In terms of pricing, a brand new active model starts at the price you're seeing on your screen. That's in frozen white. If you want it in the Lux Yellow Metallic, you'll need to pay an extra 990 Rand, which means your Ford Ecosport Active will start at 394,690 Rand. On finance, that is 7,513 Rand over 6 years at 11% interest. And if you were to fill it up, it has a 52-liter fuel tank at the current price. It will cost you 1,113 Rand. For your insurance premium, you'll likely pay around 1,800 Rand, which would bring your total cost of ownership to 10,426 Rand. By the way, petrol is going up, the repo rate just went up as well. So things are not getting any cheaper, which is why I'm giving you this tip. If you really want this EcoSport Active, they're actually demo models with around 5,000 kilometers on the clock, going for 360,000 to 370,000. So you'd save around 25 to 35,000 Rand, which is a lot. With respect to your warranty, you get a 4-year, 120,000 kilometer warranty. And when it comes to your service plan, as you know with Ford, it's now an optional extra. Speaking of Ford, a common question I always get, what is the future of the EcoSport? Actually, I was one of those people who thought it had been discontinued, but I did ask Ford and they say no, the EcoSport is still very much on sale, and that is why it's still on the Ford website. How long it will be on sale though, I don't know. I don't want to lie to you, but I'm really hoping they give us the Ford Puma soon. It will make me feel better about the Ford Fiesta being cancelled. And yes, while the Figo was cancelled as well, I am happy that Ford is still in South Africa. My viewers from India are always telling me that Ford left their country, so yeah, I'm glad we still have the Mustang, the Ranger, the Everest, and the EcoSport, which is now the cheapest way to get into the Ford brand. But all in all, I had a great time with this car. Loved driving it, whether it was day or night. As you can see, the lights are nice and bright, but if you put them on bright, you get halogens, they turn yellow. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. By the way, you also do not get a reversing camera. You only have parking sensors, testament to the age of this car. But like I said earlier, it has aged very well. Ford has done a lot to keep it relevant and it's still selling, so big ups to Ford. And as I mentioned earlier, I took the EcoSport a couple of times to introduce it to my favorite plane, the Airbus A380. Beautiful. By the way, if you haven't liked, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Support local YouTube, guys. It's the right thing to do. Until the next one, take care.
Jovenong le switsile. Ay, wa ya ka ya tata. Wa ya go irile. Wa ya. Ari mpotsa mahare, mpotsa le switsile la hao jo. Jo di mano rokile le switsi. Yelo.
Ba re ke Lux yellow.
Ba re keng?
Lux yellow.